Hey gang, welcome to Bonthas and Brews. My name's Brian, and today we're recapping the second session of our Star Wars Edge of the Empire Long Arm of the Hutt adventure. So, I actually recorded this last night immediately after the game, which is not something I normally do. And I was really giddy and bouncing all over the place, and I decided, giving it a re-listen, I got to scrap it and just do it over again. During that, though, I was drinking a um, Sheboygan Brewing Company's Blueberry Cream Ale, I believe it was, and pretty decent. The thing is, it doesn't quite solid. It's not a fruit beer, but it's not a cream ale. It's like an in between, so it's not really going to hit your fruit beer desires if that's what you're looking for, and just the same as it's not going to get your cream ale type desire if that's what you're hoping for. But I would say it's kind of a good summertime day drinker type of guy. Nothing too strong. And it's a little bit lighter. Blueberry flavor isn't as hard, isn't super intense. So it's there, but it kind of blends in with the hops and whatnot. So it's a unique beer, but don't have it because that was my last one that I drank last night. So instead, you get me with water tonight because I haven't gone to the store because it's Thursday and I'll buy beer on Friday. Although I guess I do have the keg, but the keg is warm right now, so whatever. Okay. So this adventure, we kind of it was a lot of getting people tied together, bringing everybody together because we had four people together. We had Posh, Tibbs, Sons, and 41 Vex. Those guys are all together, but we had to bring in Quifio and we had to bring in Vrish. We had to get those guys in. So starting out with Vrish, Vrish is sitting here cleaning up, fixing up the Cryat Fang, and all of a sudden the hollow comes on, and the hollow is is Trex, the original owner of the Cryat Fang. And while he's like, before he can even get started, he gets swatted out of the way by this big tail. The camera or the hollow kind of shakes around, and Timo the Hutt is there, and he's like, "Where's the owners? The owners, the guys that lifted the ship. I know they're around here somewhere. I want to know." And Vrish didn't give in, and so Vrish was like, "You know what? Yeah, I'll let the supervisor know that you're looking for them." And Timo was like, "Well, don't let them know I'm looking for them, or else you'll be dead." So Timo was like, "I'm just gonna hang out on this hollow. I have it blocked. You can't turn it off. Ha ha ha! I win." So Vrish goes and talks to the managers, and manager's like, "You know what? The people that paid for this ship to be repaired and fueled up paid me a lot of money to let them, tip off the folks that are that brought the ship in if anything like this happened. So you're gonna go to them, and so this essentially means that you're dead to Ryloth because you're crossing Team of the Hutt. So here's a severance package of like lunch money, which was like 5 or 10 credits, along with a was it the 74Z speeder bike, but it was really beat to shit. It has zero handling, only two on the speed, and it has no functional blaster. So it's going to kind of be a little pet project there for Vrish. Anyway, he goes and jumps on the speeder, starts heading off to New Maine to go meet up with the party, kind of fill them in on what's going on. So as he's going along the way, we have the chase scene still going on with Quifio trying to get away from the guy that tried to restraining bolt him. Quifio is our antiquated Sith battle droid who was repaired with weather vane and a food processor, food replicator. And so he's trying to run away. Does manage to get away. He hides in an alley, pretends he's trash. But as he's doing this, a whole bunch of alley cats start surrounding him because he passed, but he wound up having like 2 or 3 threats. So these alley cats start surrounding him and start trying to get at his food hopper. And eventually, like, they start spraying him. And Quifio doesn't like this, so Quifio busts out his, what's it called? Slug thrower, goes to shoot at one of the cats, misses. The cats start dodging the bullets, and they start dispersing, and that's where we're kind of leave the Quifio storyline because we're going to kind of tie that into the rest of the things or rest of the group here. So dealing with our 4 group, So our main group, I'll call it. So this is Tibbs the mercenary. This is Posh the pilot, smuggler, not smuggler, pilot, suave, face of the party type of guy. We have 41 Vex, who is the doctor of the group, droid doctor. And then we have Sans Serif, who is our slicer. So they didn't go ahead, they didn't follow the GAN. They're like, you know what? The GAN is going to that cave. I don't want any part of it. Took some of the heavy blasters that were operable and headed off to New Mean. Once there, a little bit of standoff Twi'leks. Eventually, a guide, a young girl named Wendy, said, "Hey, I got been told to bring you to the Elder. We got some information for you, but before you do that, I need 5 credits." And you guys looked at her like she was crazy, but Posh was like, "You know what? It's 5 credits. Here you go. Have at it." So she starts guiding you to the Elder. And as you're doing this, you walk by an alley and you see all these cats fly out, or not fly out, but like run out of it. And oh, Ryloth cats. They're canon now in our game. These cats, they have the little head tendrils like Twi'leks, and they have the little headband like Twi'leks. The headband doesn't come standard. There's some crazy cat lady in New Mean that is putting the headband on all of them. We never decided if the LAotH have fur on them or not. Who knows? That might whatever's more disturbing. Probably furry cats with bald LAotHs, probably more disturbing. So let's go with that. Anyway, so there's this one cat we call Geppetto, or named Geppetto, whatever, that's just sitting there hissing at the alley. And, I think Sans wound up throwing a rock down the alley, and out came Quifio, and he's mainly because he saw 4 customers that he could maybe sell his street tacos to. And if we remember from the last game, the street tacos now currently are made from repurposed barf. Yummy! Because that's how Evil Tim plays. Nobody bought a street taco because they just weren't interested. Meta-wise, I think we all know why nobody bought a street taco. Anyway, they didn't invite Quifio in the group. Quifio just kind of followed along as the rest of the group goes and meets up with the Elder. Meeting with the Elder, he lets you guys know that they were a group of Dromb Enterprises, DROMBB, I believe it was. Enterprises bought some land really cheap because this is a human off-worlder that was going to build a resort over the year, bring a lot of tourists into the Ryloth community, and so they sold the land really cheap. However, after Dromb built out a place for his team to stay and a small clubhouse type situation, there hasn't been any further construction. And in fact, they've been piling up all like the debris and the rubble that they've been pulling out for the construction all around New Mean. So it's really jacking up the beautiful sights of wasteland Ryloth that this section, or that New Mean, is on. Anyway, they don't want these guys to be around. The crew of Dromb Enterprises, they come into town, they cause a lot of trouble. They're real dicks. They start off really nice because they kind of run out some of the other thugs that were in town, but seems like these guys are worse than those other thugs were. So if you guys can do something about them, whether that's just said make them go away, didn't specify, didn't say, go ahead and kill them, run them off planet, blow them up, blackmail them, didn't say, just said do something with them if you don't mind. This is the task that you are mainly here in New Mean for, that Nin sent you on this errand. You guys did deliver the goods, so you did have a bunch of medical supplies that you turned into stocked up like a free clinic with. And while you guys were at the free clinic, Vex healed one of Tibbs's critical wounds, critical injuries, I think it is. I'm going to get it mixed up. Anyway, whatever. It was the agonizing wound is what it was. Healed that one up, so he still has the scattered senses going on there. But healed that up. And at this point, Vrish made it to New Mean, and he starts walking, or she starts looking around the bazaar. Uh, Eventually finds um, Posh, because Posh stepped outside because he didn't really get a lot of information from the elder. The elder, well, he gave like a little info dump, trying to pry additional information out of the elder. Didn't go so well because he kept on. Posh would ask, "Hey, how is your mind?" Like trying to like see what's going on with the minds and situation. And the elder kept on thinking that he said, "How is your mind?" And he's like, "Oh, it's spry as ever, and I can count backwards from 100, and this, that, and the other thing." But eventually, Posh was like, "You know what? Let me just go talk to somebody else." Wendy points him to the foreman of the mines, and the initial conversation doesn't go well because Posh is a human and didn't introduce himself and just starts going in asking questions about the mine. And so the foreman went on a defensive stance type of situation there. And I forget how it boiled back. I think he just was like, "Oh, let me wheel back and kind of clear this up a little bit." But as he's clearing it up, uh, the rest of the group kind of comes out, and Vrish comes over and is like, "Hey," or she's like, "Hey, somebody is on your hollow on the thing there, and they're really, really looking for you." And Vrish wouldn't tell who it was. So Sans, thinking he's going to be clever, is like, "Oh, I'll just patch in the hollow from my hollow here, and we'll make this happen. We'll kind of relay it." And this became one of like the best um, highlights of the night, I think, where Timo all of a sudden popped up. You guys are in the middle of this bazaar. Timo popped up and like, "Oh ho 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 ho, Poshvix, welcome. Oh hell," the whole Hutt stuff there, and really made you guys uncomfortable. We played in with like the strains and that kind of stuff that come into play with obligation. Um, this whole time you have Trex kind of like trying to peek over and like make you guys feel threatened as well, but he didn't do so well at that. I did some sort of weird. Sorry, my ankles were crossing over and it was hurting a little bit there. Some sort of weird Jamaican French type blend accent. I can't quite remember what I did for Trex, but anyway, eventually Tibbs wound up. So Aaron didn't mean to speak, or he meant to speak up, but he didn't mean for it to be heard. Be said in character. However, I flipped one of the dark side points and made it so it was heard in character because Tibbs also has a bounty on his head from Timo. So he's hearing this, and Timo's like, "Oh ho ho, come join us, Tibbs. I missed you." And Tibbs is, "Oh no no no, not gonna do this." Anyway, uh, eventually it came down to Timo was going to have his team hack into Sansa's hollow and blow up a really big wanted poster of Tibbs of unknown amount. Because as this is going on, Sans is like, "Oh, how much is Tibbs worth?" Because we had that bounty hunter in the canyon that wanted him, and now Timo's talking about he's the one that, let's see what this is. And so I rolled what had to be, I think, the worst roll that we have had in our 3 sessions, if you include the beginner box game. And I think it was like 3 failures and 4 threats or something like that. So instead of blowing up really big this wanted poster, instead a baby picture of Timo the Hutt was sent, and quickly communications were cut off. And he didn't try to call back then. Eventually he did keep on trying to call back, but Sans didn't answer. Anyway, with this, you guys went ahead and um, decided, let's do some recon on the Drum Enterprise, figure out what's going on here. Go out there with some binoculars, take a look at from the distance. You see a land speeder coming your guys' way from Drum Enterprises, and they head to the bar. And you guys are like, let's set up a little mix-in intrigue type situation here and infiltrate them a little bit. So Let's see here, Tibbs, Quifio, and Sans, they went in the bar. They kind of did their own thing. Main thing is Quifio is going through, and uh, one of the things that he described in the bar was I stole the. So one of the things I will say is I stole from Tabletop Squadron, where you have your players kind of describe a little bit of the scene there. So Tibbs' thing was that they had like the sparkers from Futurama for the droids to get high on. So he's sitting there getting high on the sparkers, and some of his antiquated battle algorithms start kicking back on. Oh, another thing that I really liked. I'm going to backtrack just a smidgen because this was me being a jackass, but I really liked it. I had a lot of fun doing it. Um, as you guys were kind of coming together as a team, like deciding let's be together, everybody's kind of talking about what they offer to the group, and then like everybody looks over at Quifio and they're like, "What the hell do you offer?" And kind of like downing him because they don't know he's a battle droid. Uh, and all of a sudden Quifio goes into a standby mode because I put up did another dark side point, and all of a sudden like this infomercial type spiel came on from a Genosin that helped repair him, talking about all the functions that Quifio can do, like expanded satellite systems and weather tracking, as well as on-demand food processing and battle droid, and like his weapons pop out. And then like at the end, streamers shoot out from his shoulders, and then he comes back to life. Anyway, so Quifio, he's getting high in the bar. One of the shocks actually wind up bringing his algorithm back online. That way, him as a player can actually, or as a character, can start accessing those on demand. Vrish went up to the bar, just sat by herself, kind of chatting up the bartender, who was also a Rhodian. I forget who described that one. I think maybe Don? But the bartender was also Rhodian, which was really rare because this town here has been nothing but Tweedix. So, minus the Drom Enterprise guys. And then 41 Vex and Posh sat at their own table. Posh put on this face of like really disgusted with this place, want to get out of here, don't like the Twi'leks, and did an absolutely fantastic role for that. And the Drum Enterprise guys bought it, sent him over a shot of what I call Bantha Piss, this really high yellow neon glowing shot. And decided, you know what, he's going to go ahead and drink it. He joined over with the Drum Enterprise guys. They kind of hammed it up a little bit. Eventually, though, they start looking around at the bar, and they start pushing shit over, making a mess, throwing knives in the walls, that kind of stuff there. And as this is going on, Posh is kind of looking around, because one of the things I described was that this bar is vastly larger than what the community needs. And so as he's looking at it, he's seeing evidence of constant repair and wreckage and breaking, dents, dings. All the cups are plastic because these assholes come in and break them all the time, and they don't want the cups to keep on getting broken. Anyway, so as this is going on, he's like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and join in. So he rolls his... well, I forget how he described it, but somehow it came out as him having a success and a critical success, and he wanted to be described as he looked like he was joining in, but realistically he wasn't harming anything, wasn't breaking anything. Yeah, that's what it is. Just a deception is what it was, and he absolutely nailed it. I think he actually had 2 back-to-back critical successes, which was awesome. As this is going on, 41 Vex, he's like, "Oh, this looks like fun. It's a new human greeting or something like that." Tradition that I got to get into. And so he starts smashing stuff. Anyway, the thugs, they go to head out, and Posh is like, hey, and like, yeah, come along, come with us. We'll go back to the clubhouse, hang out, have some fun. Bring the droid, stop for the strap 41 Vex to the hood of the car as they go driving off. Speeder. On the way out, though, Posh did covertly leave 100 credits for the bartender, owner, whatever, for repairs. So they sped off and headed towards the Cat's Meow. Speaking of Cat's Meow, one of the things I will say is the whole time you guys were in New Mean after meeting up with Quifio, cats were surrounding you. Cats rule Ryloth in this game. They're all over the place. So you guys go head off to the Cat's Meow, which is the resort that these guys were building. So getting there, there's no cats here though. Just there's a whole bunch of golden cat statues, but no actual cats. Stepping inside the resort, there is this like small personal sized version for like 20-ish people, Kalahari. So like a little Kalahari resort, but only for like 20 people. So there's like a hot tub, there's a wave pool, really small wave pool. There's a little water slide, and then evil or non-evil Tim's addition to this setting was that even though this is a new construction, these guys have been chain smoking death sticks like crazy in here. So there's a lot of death sticky type film like you get with people who smoke inside their cars. And then Aaron added that there is this mural on the wall, this like electric mural of a beach, an ocean, and it's not really well done, but they really dig it. And I liked that so much that I adapted it and said, you know what, not only is there that, each of the guys that you're hanging out with, along with several others, they all have like themselves imposed in the picture, but like they're like all super beefcakey, and they have like these hot chicks on their arms. And they're like, as they walk in, they're like, oh, check this out. This is fantastic, right? And that's where we ended. Had a lot of fun with this group, or this game, session, whatever you want to call it, episode, I think is what I'm calling them. Yeah, episode. Had a lot of fun with it. Really glad we got the group together, even though we kind of immediately split it again. People really getting into interpreting the dice from themselves, helping out with scene creation. I like that a lot. Really getting into the role play of the characters. Really nice fun bringing in Timo into that situation there. Got to practice my Hutt voice. I'll have to work on that a little bit more and have to remember what weird accent I did for Trex. So, moving on. Next week, my wife is out of town on Wednesday. However, we do not have our usual Sunday night D&D online game that Aaron runs for us. So instead of running that, I am going to go ahead and run our Edge of the Empire campaign via Skype instead of in person on Sunday. That way we still get it in for the week. So I know I have 4 players for sure in. There's a couple others that said that they may or may not. So we'll run with 4. I don't know how long we'll go. We'll go until I feel like we're hitting a point where other players might be necessary. Not so much for combat because I can balance that, but for like story driving and that kind of stuff there. I think we should be okay though. The only reason I'm a little bit hesitant is because we're so new into the campaign. This is going to be the 3rd session. So we're playing, we'll get some stuff done. I don't know if we're going to go the full session like we normally do, or if it might be a little bit shorter. Who knows? We might. I'm planning on doing the full thing, but we'll just play it by ear and see how it feels. Anyway, having a great time with this. Really looking forward to keeping it going. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.